Hey everyone, GrimmChorizo here, and welcome to Ringside Predictions, where I give you my predictions for upcoming WWE pay-per-views. Today we are talking about NXT Takeover New Orleans and Wrestlemania 34. So at NXT Takeover, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in an unsanctioned match. If Johnny Gargano wins, he's rehired to NXT, but if he loses, he's banned from NXT forever. I'm going to go with Gargano here because I feel like him and Ciampa are going to continue their story through NXT a lot more. The other option is, he loses and he goes to the main roster, but wouldn't it feel a little odd, like, you lose your match in NXT so you get promoted to the main roster? I don't know. It could happen, but I think Gargano's going to win, and they'll continue feuding in NXT. Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. Last TakeOver, they had a match that Ember Moon managed to retain the title at, and I think this time Shayna Baszler is going to take the title. Triple Threat Tag Team match, Undisputed Era, which is going to be Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly because Bobby Fish is injured, versus the Authors of Pain, and Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne for the NXT Tag Team titles, and the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic Final match. So I think that Undisputed Era is going to retain here because Authors of Pain definitely, I think this is their farewell for NXT, and the night after WrestleMania on Raw or SmackDown, one of the two, Authors of Pain, I think will show up. Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne, as much as I like both of them separate, they haven't been a bad team, but it just kind of feels thrown together. I don't see them winning the tag titles. So I think that Cole and O'Reilly will retain the titles. Crowning the first ever NXT North American champion in a ladder match, this is a stacked match. We've got Ricochet, EC3, Killian Dane, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, and Lars Sullivan. This is going to be insane. NXT doesn't do ladder matches often, and they've never done one with 6 people in it before, and these 6 people, 2 debuts, EC3 and Ricochet, 2 monsters like Lars Sullivan and Killian Dane, and then obviously Adam Cole, who's going to be pulling double duty, and Velveteen Dream, who is a heel, but I would say is the fan favorite with the crowd. He's just so good. I could see any of them, well, almost any of them winning, but I'm going to predict Ricochet. In the main event for the NXT Championship, Andrade Cien Almas versus Aleister Black for the NXT Championship. I think Aleister Black's going to win here, and I hope he does. He's one of my favorites in NXT, although Almas has been great as champion. But I think that his reign is over, and it's time for Aleister Black. Moving on to WrestleMania 34, we got a lot of matches to talk about. Starting off on the pre-show, 2 Battle Royals. First off, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't even know who's all been announced for this, but if Elias is in it, I think he will win. If he's not, I think Matt Hardy will win. Then we've got the first ever WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, which I don't think everybody's been announced either, but I'm assuming it's everybody but the people in the title matches, and maybe there might be a legend or a surprise or something, but I'm going to say Bayley wins because the story here is really between Bayley and Sasha. That's the main story going here, that they've, neither one is officially, turned, but they're definitely at odds with each other. So I think Bayley will win, and then Sasha will, destroy the trophy and officially turn heel. And the Cruiserweight title, Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. It's a shame this isn't on the main card, but it being on the pre-show will probably give it more time, which is good. I'm going to go with Mustafa Ali. This guy deserves that title, and Cedric does as well, but he's one of the most true babyface characters they have, and it's really him, and it's just organic and natural, and he's so good. And I've seen him wrestle live a few times before he was in WWE. He's incredible. At the times I've met him, he's been so nice. He's so deserving of that title in this WrestleMania moment. So I really hope Mustafa Ali wins. Then we got The Bar versus Braun Strowman and a mystery partner. I have no idea who the mystery partner is going to be, but I'm just going to predict it's going to be something kind of lame like Big Show or something. But I think that Braun and whoever his partner is, they're going to win the titles. Personally, would like it to be James Ellsworth because that would put their whole story full circle, and Braun and Ellsworth as the tag champs would just be amazing. SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers, Triple Threat Tag Team match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I'm going to go with the Bludgeon Brothers here. They really deserve it. They've been on a roll since re-debuting. They're dominant. It makes sense that they would win the titles here. I could also see them having Usos retain or New Day win. But they've held the title several times. I think it's time for Bludgeon Brothers to get their shot. Randy Orton versus Rusev versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal in a fatal 4-way for the United States title. This is probably the match I'm least excited for because Orton, I just don't really care about. Bobby Roode, I like, but in his current character, it's just not really interesting to me. I don't really care about Jinder Mahal, and I love Rusev, so, I'd like to think he's going to win, but I honestly think Orton is going to retain just because I don't really have a reason. The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, triple threat for the Intercontinental title. I'm very much looking forward to this match. I could see either Balor or Rollins winning, but I'm going to predict Rollins. It would make him a Grand Slam champion. I don't think that Balor is going to bring the demon, and if he did, I would think he would be winning it. But I just think it's going to be Rollins. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's title. I've really hated the build to this. This is probably the match I'm least excited for, even more than the U.S. title. But I think Nia is going to win. People want to see her beat the hell out of Alexa. So let's have it happen, have her win the title. But then I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think that Carmella, who is Miss Money in the Bank, is going to cash in on Nia. Now, it seems that she can only do it on the SmackDown Women's title. I don't think they've officially said that she could or couldn't cash in on the Raw Women's Champ, but she's tried to cash in on SmackDown Women's Champ the past 2 weeks and failed. So I think the story here is, I can't do this, so I'm going to try it on the Raw one. And I think she's going to cash in on Nia and win the title going to Raw. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. Now this match I am super stoked for. Asuka's streak versus Charlotte's title. I think Asuka's going to win. The streak lives. She becomes SmackDown Women's Champ. I think it'd be a shame if her streak broke here. I mean, Charlotte is definitely somebody who could believably do it, but I just want the streak to continue, and I want Asuka as the champ. But I think this match is going to be great. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I'm not that excited for this. It'll be kind of interesting to see what Ronda Rousey does in the ring, and to get to see Stephanie wrestle again. She hasn't wrestled since SummerSlam like 4 years ago. So, it'll be whatever. But I think that obviously Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey will win. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The return of Daniel Bryan in ring. So happy and excited for this. Just, obviously, I think Bryan and Shane are going to win. I don't think they're going to have Bryan lose his return match unless they had Shane take the pin, which would keep Sami and Owens on SmackDown. But I think that Bryan and McMahon will... It's weird calling him McMahon, but I felt like I had to because I said Bryan. Bryan and Shane, that sounds better. Bryan and McMahon. Bryan and Shane, I think, will win, which would keep Owens and Zayn fired, but I think they could just go to Raw. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. The build has been a lot better this year than it was years ago for WrestleMania 31. It didn't end with a game of tug-of-war over the title, which is always a good thing. I think obviously Roman Reigns wins here. We've known this was going to happen for a year. They've been trying to do this coronation thing for years. I want Roman Reigns to beat Lesnar here because it'll be nice to have a full-time champ. And, they've been building up Lesnar just to be beaten by Reigns, so just do it. Just do it now. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. This one's kind of tough to pick, but I think AJ is going to retain. I think Nakamura will get the title eventually, but I think that they're not going to change both world titles. And so I think Styles is going to win, basically. I think the match is going to be amazing. I think Nakamura will win it shortly down the line, but I think that AJ Styles retains. And it hasn't been announced, but I still feel like we're going to see John Cena versus The Undertaker. It'd be kind of pointless with all this build to not do it. So I don't know if it would be the last match or what they're going to do, but they got me interested to see what's going to happen. But I think if they do have a match, I think Undertaker is going to win. I know there's the whole thing of going out on your back, but he kind of did that last year, so I think they'll have him get his final, hoorah with a victory over Cena. So those are my predictions for NXT TakeOver New Orleans and WrestleMania 34. A lot of matches, a lot of wrestling, but honestly, both the cards look very, very good, and I'm very excited. So thanks for watching my predictions, and I'll see you after WrestleMania.